Decentering men is the answer, and I believe the antidote to the whole trad movement going on. Decentering men is essential to finding our own happiness in life as women. We are raised in this patriarchal society where your worth as a woman, you are told, is dependent on a man, any man picking you and being married, or being coupled up at the very least. If you aren't picked, you degraded, shamed, and people ask you what's wrong with you, and it's really getting worse these days. That is the dying patriarchy screaming. Now, let's break down why it's so ridiculous when people say this, especially in today's world in 2024. First of all, being with a man doesn't mean anything other than you're with a man. It doesn't necessarily make you happier. It doesn't improve your life. A lot of times being with a man doesn't even mean you're not lonely. There are a lot of married women are completely miserably married and hate their husbands because he treats her like a slave, like property, like she doesn't even matter, and this programming is still in men. They really believe once you are married, she's my slave. She needs to do A, B, and C for me and cater to me at all times. A lot of men are not self-aware and don't realize, we know it's a bad deal for us now. We've seen our moms and our sisters struggle, or we have struggled ourselves, so the jig is really up. I didn't realize this actually, until I became married, how awful a lot of marriages are, and having my own experiences postpartum that were awful. Luckily today, we can log on to TikTok and see the reality of marriage, or go into stay-at-home, mom Facebook groups that really changed my perspective on marriage a lot, and the reality is horrifying. So many women are being treated so horribly, it hurts my soul. So we really all need to take marriage off this pedestal. This fantasy they put into our heads that getting married is the end, all be all what every woman should aspire to, and that it's a fairy tale and is all a lie. The romance movies and all that bullshit, it's just propaganda, it's lies. Being with a man usually just adds more work and stress to your life because of how men are programmed. Men aren't really programmed to give and think about you as a woman. That's why it's so important to speak up about your needs if you are still dating men and setting those standards and boundaries. Now, we know men aren't really the answer to life's problems. Men and most are a net negative value add to your life. Listening to women, especially older women, divorced women and married women, is pivotal into discovering this, and I feel like they are particularly silenced when it comes to this conversation in the media, so it's important to get their voices out there and spread the truth and reality about these situations. The trad movement trending right now is so unrealistic and so dangerous for women to be looking up to, and I really think the antidote to this is the Decentering Men movement. Because no matter what your relationship situation or status is, you can do this and you should. It is very freeing. Men need to wake up and realize they aren't the center of the universe. If a man isn't adding value to your life in a quantifiable way, then he should be out of your life. This is so controversial to a lot of people, even women and pick-me's. Sadly, I've had a lot of women who are so desperate for men get upset with me for having standards for myself and boundaries, time and time again, but men are never policed for their standards and boundaries. I'm just sick of all of it. The reality is the majority of men these days are completely undateable. All I hear from heterosexual women on the dating market are horror stories. Women are having horrible experiences with modern men. They are porn sick and not shy about it. They just jump directly right into sexual stuff, treating as objects right from the jump. Also, a lot of men are reacting to the changing times with being more toxic and more insulting, negative, and hateful towards women. They're following Andrew Tate, and they are into the whole negging philosophy of treat her like garbage, and she'll love you and she'll stay, but the women I know see right through this. And if you're constantly just trying to stress me out, making me jump through all of these hoops, it's really not worth all that stress. Just to have a man beside me, is it really worth all that stress? What does he have to offer? And the answer is not much. Most men are a net negative add to your life. They will only drain you. So once you realize that and that, even if you get a good man, that doesn't he's going to stay faithful and treat you right just because of how they are programmed under patriarchy in this society. So marriage is a huge risk for women. It's not necessarily a goal anymore. A lot of men also love marriage because in their eyes, they can marry you and have steady sex while focusing on other women out in the world to cheat on you with. There's no loyalty from men. They want to have their cake and eat it too. Their dream is usually to have a harem of women, or multiple women, when they can't even handle one usually. It's just pathetic hearing them talk at this point. Most of these males are worthless. They are useless to society. They are jobless. They are living off of the women in their lives. Don't let them do it. They are like my Twitter banner failing in society as a whole. So the quality male you are spending so much time searching for is like a needle in a haystack, and it's wasted energy. If you are still dating males in the first place, you want him to come to you. Just take them off the pedestal in your mind. Stop pining for them. Stop watching romance movies and dreaming of this Prince Charming. He literally doesn't exist. And guess what? That's okay. It's actually more than okay. It's freeing because now you have that mental energy and space to be your own person outside of searching for male validation and attention. Get that bag, go after your goals, dress exactly how you want. Decide who you want to be for you. No one else. Not society, not males. Never beg someone to choose you. Never jump through hoops for a man. No more pick me, choose me, love me energy. This shit needs to die. On a societal level, all women need to stop because it is giving males the power that they use for evil to harm and control us. Know you are the prize and act accordingly. Create a great life on your own terms and let him work his way into it to fit into your life. So if you are single, revel in it. Your life is probably a lot better than a lot of the miserably married women. If you are married or in a relationship, it's still pivotal to decenter men, because once you start putting them first, or place them on a pedestal, they really feel it and start treating you different. I experienced this firsthand, which I may talk about in another video, and no other woman have as well. A lot of men will say they want a woman who does all this stuff for them. That's fit, feminine and friendly, this submissive trad wife, but they don't want that at all. In every relationship where I've begun to put him on a pedestal and forget about myself and my needs and my worth, been a pick-me, I've been treated awful. It has been a recipe for disaster every time. So just taking them off that pedestal in your mind and placing on the side instead of the center is really helpful even when you are married or in relationship. That way you don't lose yourself, your purpose, your happiness in just serving a man who doesn't even appreciate or acknowledge you. Men are not the prize. I still can't believe there are actually women who don't think they are the prize and are centering men to such a degree, but I see it all the time. Ladies, you are the prize. Men need us. We don't really need them for anything. Men are the ones in a loneliness crisis right now. They are paying money to see naked women online. They are paying to access women and their bodies or their services all the time. Men are the ones that really need us, and that's also part of why they hate us. I know it's harder when you're younger, especially to really see yourself as a prize when you haven't developed self-esteem and self-worth yet. But even then it's true, even though they are intent on devaluing women. That is all on purpose to get you to doubt yourself, devalue yourself, and date their lame asses. Just say no to sacrificing your own needs in order to please him. It'll backfire on you every single time, and only allow a man into your life if he is adding value. Anyway, ladies, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you are currently decentering men and how you are in your own life, and I plan on making this a series. This is only part 1. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.